Hi everyone, welcome to MK Tutorials YouTube channel. This is JavaScript interview questions and answers. Here we are going to see commonly asked JavaScript questions and interview. Let's get started. Question: what is the difference between let, where and const? In JavaScript, we can declare a variable using three keywords that are where, let and const. Now let's see what is where. Where it is the oldest keyword to declare a variable in JavaScript. The scope of the where keyword is a global or function scope. It means variable defined outside the function can be accessed globally, and variable defined inside a particular function can be accessed within the function. Next, let. It is an improved version of where keyword. It means the scope of the let variable is only block scope. It cannot be accessible outside the particular block. Next, const keyword. Const. It has all the property that are the same as we discussed before let and where keyword, except we cannot update it. It means once we declare that variable, we can't update, means we can't change the value in a particular scope. The scope of a const variable is only block scope. When we declare a const variable needs to initialize, otherwise it will return an error. It means once we declare a variable like const a equal to 0, something like that, after that we can't update. First we need to declare a variable and we need to initialize it. So those things let's see in an example. Yeah, here is the example. So here I am declaring variable a as in a two place. So first one outside the function, it means it's declared in a globally. The second one I declared that the same variable a as a inside the function. So here actually I am kept that two console logs. Let's see the output. So here, yes, first we are able to see global variable. So that global variable, that a, it's a 10 value. Next one, that inside the scope means inside the function we declare that the same variable. So that value we are able to see here. So this is the where keyword. Next, let. Yes, here. So let. So here also same example. So here the same function. So I am declaring a one variable a as a let with the let keyword. So with value 40. So here outside the function I am trying to access the variable. We will see the output. Yeah, here we are able to see an error, uncaught reference error. A is not defined because that a variable is defined inside the function. We can't access outside the function, means let is a scope variable, means function scope variable. Now we will see the example of const keyword. Yeah, here const. So here same variable a I am declared with the keyword const. Const a equal to 20. As per the definition I did the same. Yeah, I declared variable as a const variable. I assigned value to const variable. Next I console it. In the next line actually I am trying to update the value. Let's see the output in a browser. See, first we are able to see the const value that console logs. So that is a const 20. Next I am trying to access the I am trying to update the variable, that is it's throwing error like a assignment to constant variable. This is a typo error, means we can't update the value in const variable. The question is, Is possible to change value in const object? Yes, we can change the value in const object. Before we are going to see that example, let's see that first what is const. Const, it has all the properties that are the same as the let keyword. It means the scope of the const variable is only block scoped. We can not change the properties of const object, but we can change the value of the properties of the const object. Let's see, this is an example. Yeah, this is the example. So here actually I am created one object with the name sample. So inside that sample object, some key values were there. In the next line, actually I am trying to change the properties of the sample object, but it will definitely throw an error because as per the definition, we can't change the properties of const object, but we can change the values of properties. It means we can't add one more new property like this, but we will change the values of the properties. Means already this city, that value also city. Here I am trying to change that as this is a new city, so this will work. So let's see, this is this in the output. Yeah, exactly. So here assignment to the const variable, this is a typo error because we are trying to add this first name to inside the sample object. So let me comment this out. Let me save this and rerun it one more time. Yeah, see here. So before it was in a city, so now that city value is changed to new city. So we will able to change the property value. The question, what is the difference between const and object.freeze? In a definition, const, it creates a read-only reference to a value. Variables created by the const keywords are immutable. Therefore, you cannot reassign them to different value. It means you can change the value of properties. You cannot add or remove the existing properties. Object.freeze. This method is a shallow, meaning that is can freeze the properties of the object, not the object referenced by the properties. It helps in preventing existing properties from being changed. It means you cannot change the existing properties and values in the object. It will that object.freeze, it will helps you to preventing that scenario. So this is the difference between const and object.freeze. Let's see, this is an example. This is the example. So here I am created one object, const object. Inside that object, one key value pair there, that is a name mk tutorial. In the next line, I am trying to change the name property value mk tutorials to new tutorial. Next line I console it. Let's see this output. Yes, here the value got changed for that const object. The same scenario we will check with that object.freeze. So I am commenting out this one and I am uncommented this object.freeze. Let's save it. So here also I am created that same, I implemented that same. So I am trying to change the value for name property from mk tutorial to new tutorial. In the next line I am console it. Let's see this output in a browser. Yeah, so here still I am able to see, still we are able to see the name property value as a mk tutorial only, it's not changed. So this is the benefit of we are using that object.freeze method. The question is difference between JavaScript and TypeScript. So here we are going to see the common difference between JavaScript and TypeScript with some parameters. The first one, creator. The JavaScript was developed by Braden H in 1995, but the TypeScript was created by Microsoft in the year of 2012. Definition. JavaScript is a scripting language with first class function to create dynamic web pages. In TypeScript is a powerful object-oriented language as a superset to JavaScript with generic and JavaScript features to overcome the complexities of JavaScript. Typing. Loosely typed. JavaScript is a loosely typed language. JavaScript only dynamic typing is supported, not static typing. But TypeScript supports both static and dynamic supporting. This is a strongly typed. Compilations. JavaScript does not need a compilations. TypeScript needs to be compiled before running the file. Learning curve. JavaScript is flexible and easy to learn, but TypeScript requires specific scripting knowledge and is a little hard to learn. Plus, prior knowledge of JavaScript is preferred. Generics. JavaScript does not support generic features. TypeScript supports generic features. It allows the creation of reusable components. It's suitable. JavaScript is ideally used for web applications, mobile and desktop applications, even game applications development. We are using JavaScript. In a TypeScript is a more front-end oriented language with rich IDE support. It's best suits for complex applications and also any JavaScript applications as well. So these are the common difference between JavaScript and TypeScript, and yeah, you can note it down. So this is the commonly asked or periodically asked that questions in interview. Question: what is the difference between double equal to and triple equal to operators in JavaScript? Answer: in JavaScript, both are comparison operators only. Double equal to is used to compare values only, and triple equal to is used to compare both values and types. Let's see, this is an example. So below is the example for this. So here we are having two variables, one variable x equal to 2 and variable y equal to 2. You can see the first x value is a 2, that is a number. In the next, y value is a 2 also, but this is a value as a string. If we are comparing this x and y with double equal to operator, definitely it will return true because both x and y is the same value. But if we are comparing x and y with triple equal to operator, definitely it will return false because since the type of x is a number and type of y is a string. So if we are checking, but here both the values are equal but data types are different, number and string. So definitely that second statement it will return false only. So this is the main difference between double equal to and triple equal to operators in JavaScript. Question: how to empty an array in JavaScript? Answer is, in JavaScript there are multiple ways to do empty an array in JavaScript real-time applications. Below are the top 3 are frequently we are using an to empty an array. So method 1, array list equal to empty parenthesis. Actually it will set the variable array list to an empty array. Actually it's create a new empty array and set to that array list. Method 2, array list dot length equal to 0. If we are using that length, actually it will clear the existing array by setting its length 0. Actually this method is very useful when you want to update all references variable pointing to array list. And method 3, array list dot splice. So here we need to pass two things. First, that starting point and that ending point. So here this is also the most we are using that way to emptying an array. It will also update all the references to the original array. So we are going to see those all 3 methods in an example. This is the example. So here I implemented that same which we discussed, those 3. So first one I implemented that array1 equal to an empty array. That method 2 array2 dot length equal to 0 and method 3 array3 dot splice. So here I am passing the two value. First one is a starting value and the second one is a ending value. So I am using that same that here also. So let's see those three output in the browser. So yes, so here we will able to see all and looks like an empty array. Question: how to find count of duplicates in an array? In JavaScript, we will use array reduce method to achieve this scenario. With the help of array reduce method, we will iterate each and every value inside that array. We will be getting an iteration object. Using an iteration object instance, we will check if that key is present or not. If that key is present, then we need to increment by 1. Otherwise, else return 1. This is how to find count of duplicates in an array. Actually, in this method is working for both string and number arrays. Actually, this is a really tricky questions. It can be asked for various types in a interviews. So below it's a one example. So here const array equal to some string values there. So like Jan, February, December, like that. How that final output we want that string value, how many times present inside that particular array, that count we want. That count whatever it is a present in a 1 time or a 2 time or a n number of times, that is doesn't matter. So final output we want like so this string is this times present in that particular array. So like this we want. So let's see how we will be implementing this scenario in that code level with the help of array reduce method. Let's see in a code. Yeah, this is the example. So in your first line, actually I am created that months array. So inside that months array, many values that month names there. So some months names are present in a 1 times or 2 times or in a 3 to n number of times. So in the next line, actually I am created that one more object, that is a counts. So here only we will see that output. So in that counts variable, so I am iteration means I am using that JavaScript array method, that is a reduce. I'm applied that in a months array. So here months dot reduce. So here we will be getting two things. One is a previous value and the next one is a current value. Previous value is nothing but there is a one object. That value of object is already initialized as an empty in a before. So now that next value is a month. So this month is a current value in the sense it will be coming first January, second time February, third December, like that it will come by one. So inside that reduce method, so here we are checking two things. So first in that object with the month keyword it's a present or not, like we are checking like it's equal to undefined. If that is undefined, it means that month is not present in before. So next line what we are doing, so object of month equal to 1, just in the next line just return that object. Otherwise object of month plus it's just we need to increment by 1 and next line we need to return that object. So like that if we are doing, so first it will check if the key is present or not. So if the key is present, we need to increment by value by 1. If the key is not present, we need to create the key inside that array. So in the last line I just console that counts variable. So here only we will check that output of this executions. So let's see, so this executions in a browser. Yes, so here you can see, so here we will be getting that value like April 1, December 2, February 2, January 1, May 2. So this means this is working as expected and this is the most optimized solution. So really this is the way to count that duplicates value in an array. So this is the most optimized solution for this scenarios. Question: how to split a sentence into an array? In JavaScript, we will achieve this scenario using string split method to split string and array to an array. So this is a very somewhat basic and easy questions to answer. So let's see that code with an example. So below here I am showing some examples to you guys. So first here I declared one variable str with the const data type, that value welcome to MK tutorials. In the next line actually I mentioned how that final output looks like. So we want that final output looks like it is an array. Inside that array each and every sentence in a string formatted. It looks like a string array. So let's see, this is in a code level. Yeah, this is the example. So here I am declaring that same variable with the data type const and with that value welcome to MK tutorials. In the next line I declared one more variable, that is array. So here I am using that string dot split method. So that the split method is nothing but this is a inbuilt method of JavaScript. So in that split method we need to pass one parameter, so that is a separator. So based on that separator, that split method will divide that our string into multiple parts. So in our case I am sending an empty space. So based on that empty space, that split method will divide into our string to multiple parts. So here if we didn't pass that empty string, so just we will send that empty quotations. So that split method will divide our string into each character. So W is a one value, E is a one value, L is a one value, like that it will divide. So if we are passing any custom separators, so based on that separator value, that above string it will divide into multiple things. So in a last line I just control that output. So let's see. So first we are checking with that empty string value. So let's see this output in a browser. Yeah, see, so based on that empty output, so our string is divided into three parts. Welcome to MK tutorials, that is a 0 1 2 3, that are 0 1 2, that array index. So now we will pass that just empty quotes. I will change here, just I will pass that empty quotes. So now I will check. See, so now that our string is divided into 22 length. So here it's each and every character is divided into multiple things. So now let me change this to star. So here also I am just changing some star values. So now let's see this output in a browser. So yes, see, so now it is divided into three parts. So based on that our split value, that separator value, that above string will divided into in a array. Question: how to find duplicate element in a given array? In JavaScript we will achieve this scenario using array filter method. That array filter method, it will take three parameters. First one element, second one index, third one array. That third array is nothing but it's a given array. That second, that index is a current index of that array. That first one element is a each and every element. Then we will check for the index of the each element. It will does not match with that current index, then we will return that element. Actually this method is working for both the string and number arrays. So like this way we will achieve this scenario. This is actually really tricky questions. It can be asked for various types. Actually this is a really basics or common or frequently asked questions in a UI developer interview or in a JavaScript developer interview. Then you should know about these topics, like that JavaScript array topics, like what all are the array methods or what all are the inbuilt array methods are there. So at least you should know about that filter method, reduce method, everything. So in our channel before I uploaded one video, that is how to find duplicate elements that count. So here we will check the duplicate element, but that video is a count. So you can check that video as well. So now coming to this video. So here below I am mentioned one example. In that example I declared one array with some random values that found final output how we want looks like. So we just want what all are the elements are duplicated in that current array, in that given array. So it's 3 and 5 it's returned because that 3 and 5 is duplicate element in that current array. So let's see this scenario in a code level. Yeah, this is the example. So here I am using that duplicate array with some random values. In a next line I just apply that filter method to that duplicate array. So that filter method we will get the 3 parameters. One is a element, next one is a index, third one is a array. Then we will apply that logics that array dot index of that current element is not equal to that index. Definitely it is a duplicate element. Then we will return that element. Like that filter method is going to apply this concept in each and every element in the duplicate array. Finally we will get that result. So in a last line I just console log that results. Then let's take a look this output in a browser. Yes, so here I'm just refreshing here. So yeah, so here we will see that duplicate element array. So this is a 6 4 2. So 6 4 2 is a duplicate element in that given array. Let's see. Yes, that last 6 4 2 it's a duplicate element in that current array. So this is the way we will find that duplicate element in a given array. Question: how to find unique value in an array? In JavaScript we will achieve this scenario using array filter method. That array filter method, it will take 3 parameters. First one element, next one index, third one array. That array is nothing but that is a given array. That index is a current index of that array. That element is a each and every element inside that array. Then first we will check that index of that each element and we will match that element with that index. So if it is matching, then we will return that element. If it is not matching, we no need to return that element, because if that current index and that index of that both the values are equal, then only it's a unique value. So this is how we are going to achieve this scenario in JavaScript. This method is working for both string and number array. Let's see, this is an example. So below I am implemented the same logic. So here actually I am declaring that one array, that is a array. Inside that array some random values. That final output how we want looks like, that is a 3 5 7 8, because that above array 3 5 7 8 only is the unique value. That remaining 3 and 5 is a repeated value. We don't want that repeated value, we want only that unique value. So let's see. This is in the code level. We will implement that array filter method in that code level. Let's see. Yeah, this is the example. So here I am mentioned that one array, that is a original array. In that array having some random values. In the next line I implemented that filter method in that original array. That filter method, it's take 3 parameters. One is a element, next one is a index, third one is a array. Then we are applying that logic. Array dot index of that element is triple equal to that index. It means both are equal. Then only we need to return that element. Otherwise we don't want to return that element. So that filter method, it's going to apply that same logic in that each and every method. Finally we will get that result. So in a last line I just control that result. So let's take a look this output in that browser. Yeah, so here we will see 2496. So that length is 4. So 2496, that value we are getting. So this is the way to find unique value in that array. Question: how to sort a number array? In JavaScript, we will use array sort method and use a comparison method inside that sort method. Then only we will get that exact value. So here below I mentioned some codings. So here I declared one variable array with some random values, random number values. And the next line I mentioned that output, that output only finally how we want that array in a final result with after sorting. So in here we are using that comparison method inside that sort method. If we didn't use that comparison method inside that sort method, then JavaScript will take that first digit of that number. Based on that first digit, then JavaScript defaultly it will apply that sorting algorithms to sorting that array. So it is wrong. So most of the UI developers or most of that JavaScript developers did that same mistakes while doing that sorting that number array. So then let's see how we will implement that exact way or that perfect way to sort a number array in a JavaScript. Let's see this is in a code level. Yeah, here is the example. So here I have declared one variable that is unsorted array. Inside that array I just kept some random numbers. So in the next line I just apply that JavaScript inbuilt sort method to that unsorted array variable. That sort method will take two parameters a comma b. That is a first one is a first value, that the second one is a next value. In the next line I just subtract that a minus b and return that value. Then only that the sorting algorithm working as expected. So finally we will get that output in a result variable. In the last line I just console that result variable. So let's take a look this output in a browser. Yeah, here you can see. So this is the final output. We will see 1, 6, 34, 56, 67, 98 and 345. So this is the sorting function. It's working as expected. So now let's see without the passing that comparison method how that sorting method is working inside that JavaScript. So let's see. So in a code I am just removing that return method inside that everyone. So here I am just removed. So I am just kept that unsorted array.sort method. So this is also will work. So let's see this output in a browser. Yeah, here you can see this is also sorted, but it is sorted based on that first digit of the number. So it's not take that entire number as a value. It's take just the first digit and it's sorting that number. So this is what I am saying that in a definition. So we need to pass that comparison method inside that sorting method. Then only we will get that exact sorted output. So this is the perfect and easiest way to sort a number array in JavaScript. Question: how to find maximum value in a numbered array? In JavaScript, there are lots of ways to find maximum value in a number array, but here we are going to use find max method. So inside that method we are going to use array reduce method. Array reduce method is a inbuilt method in JavaScript. So inside that array reduce method we will check each and every value is greater than that previous value. If it is yes, then we need to return that previous value. If it is not, then we need to return that current value. Like that we will find maximum value in a numbered array. So here below I mentioned some example. So in that example I declared one variable. In that variable having that lot of random numbers. So that final output is 80 because that 80 is the maximum value in the above numbered array. So let's see how we are going to implement this in a code level. Yeah, this is the example. So here I am declared one numbered array constant variable with some number values, random number values. In a next line I just define one method, that is a find maximum method. Find maximum method will accept one parameter, that is an array. Inside that method I am just using array.reduce method. In that array.reduce method it will take two parameters, that is a current and previous value. In a next line I am just checking current value is greater than previous value. If it is yes, then we need to return current value. If it is not, then we need to return previous value. So like that array.reduce method, it's applying this logic to each and every method inside that array element. So in like that, in a last line I am just console that output. So here I am just calling that find maximum method with numbered array. So this is the final output here we will see. So let's take a look for this output in a browser. So here I am just refreshing. Yeah, here you can see the maximum value in array is 345. Go back. So here, so 345, yeah, 345 is the maximum value in this numbered array. So this is the easiest way and this is the optimized solution for this scenarios to find maximum value in numbered array. Question: how to extract some fields from given JSON object and make a new array. So in JavaScript we will use map method to achieve this scenario. So we are using that map method, that map inside that map method which and what field we required, so that field only we need to return. So finally it will make one new array and we just use that in a real-time scenario. So you can note it down. This is a day-to-day life in a UI developer, or if you are a front-end developer. So we are using these concepts in a JavaScript. So here I am going to say some example for that real-time use cases. So in your project you want to call an API. That API definitely will return that result as a some object. So inside that some data, some status, some everything values inside that object only. So you just want to process that data. That data is nothing but your final output. So inside that data you want to add some new fields, you want to delete some fields. So finally you need to make it as some array. With that array only you need to either display in a UI side, or you need to display that UI side in a table format, and you need to process some data inside that your project. So this is the real-time scenario. So let's see how we are going to implement this scenario inside that code level. So before that, so below you can see this is the overview of this example. So here I am just declared that one object. Inside that object students array there, that students array having that multiple objects with some key value pair. That final output how you want, like inside that students object it's a lot of key value pairs there, but we want only that name in a final output. So how to extract that only that name from that students array? So let's see, this is an example in a code level. Yeah, this is the example. So here we are having that responses object. So in a final output we just want only that student's name only, we don't want that student's ID. So then let's see how we are getting that only that student's name only. So in the next line I just implemented that map method in that response object. So here you can see response.students.map. that map method will accept that one parameter, that is an object. So that object is the current object. So we will access that student's name like that object.name. So inside that map method whatever the values we are returning, finally it will make one new array. So here we will get that final output inside that output variable. So in a last line I just console that output. Here you can see what is that value inside having that output. So let's take a look this output in a browser. So here I am just refreshing here. So here you can see, so this is the final output. So this is the array of elements, so having only that student's name only. So this is how we will extract some fields from that given JSON object to make a new array. Question: what is rest parameter and spread operator? In JavaScript both are introduced in ES6 futures. That means ES 2015 version of JavaScript. Let's see what is spread operator. That spread operator helps us to expand an iterables such as an array where multiple arguments are needed. It also helps us to expand the object expressions as well. So below you can see here I mentioned spread operator syntax. So in that syntax, so you can see where variable name equal to square bracket, inside that square bracket with that 3 dot with iteratable variable name. It means what all are the values having that iteratable variable, so it will expand with one by one. It means comma by comma. So it will also applicable for object also. That same syntax we will use in object as well. So next, REST parameter. It improved way to handle functions parameters. It allows us to more easily handle various inputs as a parameter in a function. So here also you can see below I mentioned REST parameter syntax also. That REST parameters is mostly we are used in that function arguments. So inside that function arguments we will use that same spread operator, that syntax, that 3 dots with that iteratable name. So inside that functions we will use one by one. So let's see this REST parameter and spread operator in a code level. This is the example. So here we can see first that spread operator example. So here I just declare 2 array. First one is a ARR, that array name with some number value, random number value. The second array I just named as ARR2 with some random number values. In a next line I just merge that both the arrays into a single array with the help of spread operator, that triple dot. In a last line I just console that array. So in a right hand side you can see, so here this is the output of that spread operator. So here you can see that both arrays are merged and we are able to see all the values in a single array. In next we will see that REST parameter. So I am just deleting this one and I am just pasting some code for that REST parameter. So this is the example of REST parameter. So here I am just declared one function. In that function it accepts some arguments. So inside that functions, based on that arguments I just sum of the value and return in that final output. So here in before that JavaScript, so if we want to pass more than one operator, we need to declare all the parameter in that square brackets. Means if a function a comma b comma c, how many parameters we are going to pass, first we need to predefine it, then only we need to pass that parameters to that function. But coming to that REST operators, this is a very pretty, and handling that parameters is a very easy to use. So it will helps to arrange, or it will cover all the parameters into a single object. So in that object we will get all the parameters, if that number of parameters, whether that is a 1 parameter or 2 parameter or n number of parameters, how many parameters if we want to send to the or pass to an function, then it will accept. So here in that below I just console log that 3 statements. So first one I just pass the 2 parameter, second one I just pass that 3 parameter, third one I just pass that 5 parameters. But that above function it's accept all the number of parameters whichever we are passing from that console logs. Let's see this output in a browser. So here I am just refreshing. So here you can see that output. So without any error throwing, that JavaScript accepts that multiple parameters with the help of REST operators. So this is the use cases of spread operator and REST parameters. So if you want more details or explain about that REST parameter and that spread operator, please you can comment in that video. I will make a separate video for that REST parameter and that REST operators also. Question: how to find average value in the given numbered array? In JavaScript, lot of ways to find that average value in number arrays. but here we are going to use array reduce method. First, we will get the total number of values in that given number array. So later we need to divide the total sum with length of the array. Finally, we will get the average value of the numbers in that numbered array. So this is that we are going to implement in code level. Before that, below I just mentioned one code snippet. So here you can see I just mentioned one variable with some random numbers in that array. So that finally we want that average of that given numbered array. So let's see how we are going to implement this logic in a code level. Yeah, this is the example. So here I am just declared that number array variable with some random number values. In a next line, I just apply that JavaScript inbuilt array method that reduce to that number array. So that reduce method will accept two parameters. That is, first one is a previous value, second one is a current value. That logic is we need to add all the elements inside that array. So don't forget to add 0. That means don't forget to add that 0 for initial value to that reduce method. So finally we will get that sum value inside that sum value variable. In a next line, I just divided that sum value by number array dot length. So finally we will get that average value in that given numbered array. So in a last line, I just console log it that average value. Let's take a look this output in a browser. So in a browser, I am just run that index.html file. So in a console you can see, yeah, this is the average value for that given numbered array. So this is how we find that average value in that given number array. So that's it. Question: how we can clone object? In JavaScript, there are lot of ways to achieve this scenario, but here we are going to see two methods. First one is Object.assign method, second one is spread operator. In Object.assign method, this is a inbuilt method in JavaScript. It is come up with ES6 feature, means ES 2015 version of JavaScript. In a latest, all the browsers are supports ES6 features. So let's see how we are going to implement this logic in a code level. Before we can see, so in our channel I uploaded many JavaScript interview questions videos. So in a description box and that eye icon, I will provide that playlist link. If you have time or if you want to know that more JavaScript questions and answers, please check all those videos. Thank you in advance. Let's see this in a code. Yeah, this is the example. So here I just declared source object with some random key value pairs. So inside that source object we can see name and the course, two key value pairs there. So we just implement that object clone in a method 1. In a method 1 you can see I am using that object.assign. So that object.assign method will take two parameters. So first one, that is a target value, second one is a source value. So you can notice down, you should always pass that target value as an empty array, that the source object. So you need to provide which array we are going to clone, which object we are going to clone. So that object.assign method will create a new object and it will assign to new object variable. In the next line, I just console log it that new object. So let's take a look this output in a browser. In a browser, I am just going to run that index.html. In a console log, you can see, yeah, here. So this is cloned. So method 1 object.assign is working as expected. Now let's see that method 2, that spread operator. So in a code I am going to paste some values. So here you can see in a method 2 I just use that spread operator. So here that new object that is with that spread operator, like it's a clone to that new object. So in the next line actually I am just console that spread operators output. So let's take a look this output also in a browser. So again in a browser I am going to refresh here, and in a console you can see, yeah, so both the methods are working as expected. So actually I am damn sure, so if we are going to use that object.assign methods, that is a traditional way, but nowadays all the experienced developers are using that spread operators to clone that object to new object. So this is what we are learned today. So this is how that we are going to achieve that clone object in JavaScript. Question: what is immediately invoked function expressions, IIFE? In JavaScript, functions is one of the building block, but this immediately invoked function is execute immediately after it's created. It means in generally JavaScript, if we are declaring any functions in that our file, but we need to call that functions, then only it will execute it. But in our case, this immediate invoke function is executed after it's created. It means it will execute it immediately after it's created, and it have their own scopes. It means what all are the variables we are declared inside that functions, we can't access the same variable outside of the functions even. So why we are using immediate invoke the function expressions? To avoid conflict of variable names between libraries and programs. It means if we are using any third-party library, we want to import that library in our program. That same variable name, if we are try to use in our program, it will make a conflict. To avoid those kind of scenarios, we need to use this feature, immediately invoked function. And next is to avoid polluting the global namespace. If we declared some variable name in a globally, and if we want that same variable name but we don't want to change the value, in that case also we need to use this IIFE. Let's see, this is in a code level. In our channel I already uploaded JavaScript interview questions and answers. I will add that playlist in that icon and in a below description box. So if you want to check that more questions and answers, please check those all. Yeah, this is the example. So here you can see I just mentioned that normal function, that is a get data. Inside that function I just use that one console log statement, and you can see, so here I just covered that whole function with that parenthesis. After that parenthesis I just call that function. This is the syntax for that immediately invoked function expressions. Then let's take a look this output in a browser. So in a browser I am just refreshing here. So in a console, yeah, you can see here, so it is called, it means that function is get executed after it's created. So this is called immediately invoked function expressions in JavaScript. Question: how to convert a given number into exact decimal places? In JavaScript we are going to use that inbuilt method .toFixed. So it can be used to format a number with a specific number of digits to the right side of the decimal places. So that .toFixed method, it accepts a single parameter value and it returns a number in a string representations. So here only we need to notice that actually we need to give the input as a number, but that dot to fixed, that method returns a number in the string representations. Okay, so below you can see I just mentioned that one example. So here actually I just declared that num as some random value. The final output how we want, like, so 10.59, that original number is 10.584854, but that final output we want 10.59. Actually here we need to notice one more point. Actually that dot to fixed method, it will act like a math.seal functions. It means that decimal places that value more than 6, then it will comes to that seal value, means next value. See here also you can see that example 10.58, but that final output it looks like a 10.59. So here that dot to fixed method internally using that math.seal functions also, and it will returns a number in the string representations. Yeah, this is the example. So here you can see I just declared that num as a some random value. In a next line I just round off that number with that dot to fixed, that inbuilt method. So here I am just passing that one parameter, that is a 2. So here I just want after that decimal places, it means after that dot I just want only 2 digits. So that's why I provided here value as a 2. So how many digits you want, so same like you need to provide that number here. So in your last line I just console log that round off value. So let's take a look this output in a browser. Yeah, here you can see, so I am getting the value as 14.88 because as we discussed that earlier, so that dot to fixed method internally calls that math.seal function also. So that's why we are getting that value as 14.88. Question: write a method which takes n number of parameters. In JavaScript, we are going to achieve this scenario using REST operator. The REST operator is a feature that is introduced in ES6 JavaScript feature. So REST operator, it will accept a n number of parameter values in a custom defined method. So based on that parameters we need to call the functions. For example, if that parameter accepts 1 or 2 or in a number of parameters, so that same number of parameters we need to use at the time of calling that function. So this is the traditional way to call the custom defined function, means user defined function. But coming to that REST operator, let's take a one scenario. We write a one method. That method will accepts n number of parameters. It means first we are calling that parameters with one parameter, second time we are calling that method with that 2 parameters, so third time 3 parameters, so like that. So we don't know how many parameters will come to these functions as a parameter. That time this REST operator will comes into that picture. So using that REST operator, so we will accept that dynamic parameters in a user defined method. So let's see, this is in a code level. Yeah, this is the example. So here you can see I just written that get value as a user defined method. So in that method actually I am using that REST operator inside that parameters. Below you can see I am just calling that get value method with different number of parameters. First time I am calling that get value with 3 parameters, second time I am calling that get value method as a 1 parameter with that 1 parameter, third time I am calling that get value method with 6 number of parameters. So let's take a look this output in a browser. In a browser actually I am going to refresh here. So in a console you can see, so this method accepts that n number of parameters at the time of running. So if we are passing that more than 1 or n number of parameters, so this method will accept. So this is the way we implemented that method accepts n number of parameters. Question: how to replace given string to an given array. So in JavaScript, we are going to achieve this scenario using JavaScript map method. So this is the new feature that is introduced in ES6. It means ES6 JavaScript feature. Map method, it's a collection of element where each element is stored as a key and value pair. So that map method returns the key value pair in the same order as we inserted before. So like that, we are going to replace that our given string to and that value with the help of map methods iterations. So let's see, this is in a code level. Yeah, this is the example. So here you can see, here I am just declare that str array equal to some random values. In the next line, I am just implemented that map method to that str array, means that array value. So that map method will accept that one callback function. So with the callback functions, we will get that value one by one. So that with the callback functions and with the help of that map methods iterations, so inside that I am just replacing that value with some custom value. So here I am just replacing that Java to PHP. In a next line, I am just console log that output. So now let's take a look this output in a browser. So in a browser, so I am just refreshing here. So below in a console you can see, so here that the values are changed, that from Java to PHP. So in that original array, that values are Java class, Java string and Java variable, but I am just replace that value Java to PHP. So now you can see in that consoles, so that Java word is replaced with PHP. Now you can see PHP class, PHP string, PHP variables. So this is the way we are achieving that scenarios in a JavaScript, that replacing that given string to a given array. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel. See you in next video.